The movie begins in a small, cramped apartment where an elderly woman is about to feed her pet. When she returns to the cage, she is surprised to find that the bird has disappeared. In search of it, she glances into the living room and sees her husband sitting in front of the television, tightly holding the poor animal in his hand. Meanwhile, in the neighboring apartment, a young red-haired woman named Iris is talking with her neighbor, who is getting ready for a date. Unlike her friend, Iris is deeply absorbed in her work and doesn't think about her personal life, as she recently went through a divorce. She leads a rather reckless lifestyle and has a daughter named Tata. Just as she's leaving, she runs into her ex-husband who has brought their daughter, but Iris had completely forgotten about it. She has already agreed to take an extra shift at work, which she can't refuse. Tata is also not too thrilled to spend the evening with her mother. After her father leaves, Iris decides to take her daughter with her to work, as she works as a security guard at a sports club just a few blocks from home. On the way to work, neither mother nor daughter notices the growing unrest in the city, which will soon disrupt their day. Once at the club, Iris relieves her coworker and discreetly sneaks her daughter inside the building, deciding to show her how things work. She gives Tata a small tour, leading her to the gym. Grabbing a few smoke bombs, Iris promises that after work they will take some cool photos. However, for now she needs to complete her rounds. She leaves her daughter walkie-talkie to stay in touch and heads to the security post, where she starts watching her through the cameras. As soon as Iris steps away from the monitors, an unknown man sneaks into the building through a window. Suddenly the lights go out. Iris reassures her frightened daughter over the walkie-talkie, telling her it's just a common technical issue. She heads down to the basement to check the fuse box and successfully restores the power. During this time, Tata begins to recall the happiest moment of her childhood, the day, and their whole family went to the beach with her younger brother. But this is a painful topic for Iris, so she quickly ends the conversation. When Iris returns to the security post, she sees through the window an unknown man aggressively attacking someone near a burning car. Wasting no time, she calls the police and rushes to the balcony to warn her fellow security guard. The man assures her that it's probably just some drug addicts and advises her to lock all the doors. Iris decides to follow his advice. Returning, she is horrified to discover that Tata has disappeared. Panicking, Iris runs to the basketball court, where she suddenly encounters the same intruder who had broken into the club. He begins shouting furiously and runs toward her. In a panic, manages to escape at the last second. Iris locks the door behind her and heads to the main entrance, where through the glass she sees complete chaos unfolding in the streets. Disturbed, she returns to the security post and finds her daughter on the cameras. Grabbing her phone, she quickly contacts Tata. The girl tells her that she got scared and ran when she heard strange noises after someone broke into the club. Iris is about to go meet her, but suddenly notices that an armed man has entered the building, along with a little girl. At that moment, the same crazed man who attacked her in the gym earlier enters the security room. Meanwhile, the stranger tries to break into the room where the girl is hiding. She moves into a dark corner. Frightened, Iris hides under a table while the infected person searches the room. Finding no one, he prepares to leave. Taking advantage of the moment, Iris quietly slips out from under the table and runs away as the infected suddenly freezes in place. Iris finds shelter in another room and starts checking the surveillance cameras again. She notices a strange pattern. After each attack, the infected fall into a kind of trance and freeze for exactly 30 seconds. Realizing she has a short window of time, Iris decides to take the risk and go after her daughter. Passing through the locker room, she encounters a zombie, but at the last moment a bearded man saves her, pushing her into the pool. The infected jumps in after her but begins acting strangely in the water and soon stops showing signs of life, as if the water is a deadly trap for him. The stranger introduces himself as Luis and tells Iris that zombies can't swim. He adds that some kind of virus is spreading outside, causing extreme aggression, and the infected have specific marks on their palms. Luis checks Iris's hands to make sure she's healthy and then shares his story. He and his wife were in an ambulance that crashed near the sports club. Luis's wife is about to give birth and he desperately needs help. However, it turns out that she is already infected and tied to a chair, trying to attack anyone who comes near. He hit his pregnant wife and asks Iris to help deliver the baby. Looking at the woman tied to the chair, Iris realizes she's infected and tries to leave, but Luis stops her, begging for help. He hopes the virus can be cured and that his wife will recover one day, even if it takes a year. Iris, being realistic, argues that the baby is probably already dead and refuses to help, explaining that she needs to find her daughter. It is soon revealed that Luis is the same man who previously kidnapped the girl. Luis insists that Iris must help him, and only then will he tell her where her daughter is. With no other option, Iris agrees. They decide to move the infected wife to a safer place. When the epidemic began, Luis was on his boat, where the first zombie attacked him. In a panic, he pushed the infected person into the water and was surprised to notice that the zombie couldn't swim. Luis suggests that Iris and her daughter join him on his boat to take refuge in a safer place. After some time, Iris finds her ex-husband injured and lying at the bottom of the pool. He tells her that he came to save her and their daughter, but was attacked by an infected person along the way. During their conversation, it is revealed that their young son tragically drowned in the pool, which led to the breakdown of their marriage. Meanwhile, the pregnant woman, tied to a chair, starts having contractions and infected people begin breaking in, smashing doors and windows. Wasting no time, Iris grabs her ex-husband's car keys and throws smoke bombs into the pool to create a distraction. She barely manages to escape and hide. At this moment, she notices strange behavior from the zombies. They seem to focus on the pregnant woman's belly. Luis arrives just in time and stops the infected woman, saving everyone. The pregnant woman is quickly taken to a safe place and within a few minutes, she gives birth to a baby boy. Worried about the baby's health, Luis convinces Iris that the first contact between mother and child is crucial. He allows the infected woman to kill a bird and then places the baby next to her. The 30 seconds quickly pass, and suddenly the power goes out again. Grief-stricken, he finally tells Iris that her daughter Tata is in the boiler room. Iris sets out to find her daughter. She notices someone's body burning in the furnace, which looks like her daughter's. At this moment, Iris realizes that her life has lost all meaning. Falling into deep despair, she notices a gun, picks it up, but her attention is soon caught by a red light from the security alarm. Following the signal, Iris reaches a door. After a coded knock, she hears the sound of a lock turning. It's Tata. She managed to hide and leave a message for her mother to find her. Tata explains that Luis helped her hide in the boiler room. Then, a strange man arrived with a little girl. These were the people Iris saw on the surveillance cameras. Tata tried to help them, but they were attacked by the infected. A fierce fight broke out, during which the man was killed and his daughter ended up in the furnace. Iris decides they need to head to the sea to escape. However, on the way out, she spots several infected. Iris uses fire to drive a swarm of rats into the corridor toward the infected, and the creatures furiously attack the animals. She sets a timer for 30 seconds and the infected freeze in place, giving her a chance to slip past them. They almost make it to the end of the corridor, but time runs out and the infected reactivates, starting a chase. They barely make it to her ex-husband's car, but Iris realizes the car won't start. She manages to outsmart the infected by leading them on a false trail. As the enraged crowd closes in on the car, she and Tata descend into a sewer hatch. There they find Luis, wounded and holding his baby son. Luis realizes he has no chance of survival and asks Iris and her daughter to take care of his son, giving them the name of his boat docked at the pier. At that moment, the infected person who had previously attacked Iris and killed her cat breaks into the sewer. A desperate fight ensues, and the zombie overpowers Iris. Tata decides to help her mother and grabs a nail gun. She takes the baby from Luis's lifeless arms, grabs her daughter, and they head to the pier. After reaching the boat, they set sail into open waters. But at that moment, the infected person who had drowned in the pool begins to stir, signaling that even in open waters, there may be no escape. And with that, the movie ends. Thank you so much for watching. We would love for you to subscribe to the channel.